Have you ever picked up your phone to reply one important message and then moments later you are still on your phone, doom scrolling TikTok, Instagram, or whatever social media app that tickles your fancy? And just like that, 20 minutes gone. Because let's face it, more than anything, our smartphones distract us the most. But Clicks is trying to fix that with the Communicator. I know what you're going to say, but no. It's not Blackberry. It may have been inspired by the Blackberry of the past, but it's a device meant to help you focus, to communicate, and nothing more. I got exclusive hands-on with the prototype of the Clicks Communicator at CES alongside the equally interesting Power keyboard, and honestly, I like where this is going. I always find it interesting when smartphone manufacturers stray from the conventional to give us something different, or you could say unique. I also had an interview with one of the co-founders, Jeff Gadaway, and I'll probably add that to this video, or another one if this ends up being lengthy. Clicks is a company that makes keyboard cases for iPhones, Pixels, and some flip phones, giving you that full screen experience while allowing you to use physical keyboards for that clicky typing feeling. But at CES 2026, they showcased a smartphone. At first glance, you might think, physical keyboard, who asks for this? Maybe Gen X, boomers, or millennials? Well, they are definitely not looking to have it replace your smartphone. Rather, it's expected to be a complementary device or backup if you like, or even your primary phone. Who knows, depending on what you do with your phones. It's not built for doom scrolling, not for social media. It is built for communication, as it's obvious from the name. Calls, texts, emails, just focus. The idea is simple. When you want to communicate, you pick this up, not the phone that will have you end up on TikTok or Instagram afterwards, which begs the question. Apart from the apps that I can see on the screen, Telegrams, like messaging apps, is there a possibility of any other apps since it's Android, I mean?
Absolutely. It runs Android 16, Google Play Store, so any app that you want, you can absolutely download. The reason we're featuring these is, surprise, surprise, they're really core to the communication experience, but you can put anything you want on it. There's no limits or restrictions.
You won't need to jailbreak or root it to do that. But the software will prioritize communication and messaging apps, and it will be optimized for that focused experience. The interface shows a custom Niagara launcher with quick access to messaging apps. Now, since this is a prototype, we don't have experience with the exact software or user interface. I would have loved that. But it will be Android 16 at launch, and while the original stated upgrade cycle was 2 years, Jeff confirmed it will now be 4. That's satisfying to hear.
I know it's a first generation product, and then there are people that say, oh, it's just 2 years of Android updates. Is there a specific reason for that choice?
Well, actually I've got good news on that front. We have done some more analysis and we can support a longer Android upgrade period. I think it's now 4 years that we're committing to, plus 5 years of security updates.
The processor is not yet confirmed, but it will be a 4nm MediaTek processor. Now, looking at the pricing, it will definitely be mid-range, but let's hope it will be something very capable. Based on the hands-on feel, it's definitely a device I want to experience. I can't confirm the build quality just yet until we get the actual device, but from the prototype, it does feel solid, and based on how it is built, I doubt you will need a case for this. The design looks great, the back panel is replaceable, so you get to customize it how you see fit. There's a leather version. I like that they kept the fan favorite features like the headphone jack, expandable storage, and notification LED, customizable with different colors and patterns for different apps or contacts. The keyboard is tactile, backlit, and touch sensitive, so it can be used to scroll and navigate the interface, meaning you can choose to operate the Clicks Communicator without clicking on the buttons, although that defeats the purpose of getting this. There's also a fingerprint sensor built into the spacebar. That's a nice touch. As for the display, it is AMOLED, just a bit over 4 inches, 1080p resolution, 120Hz refresh rate. Now, I can't confirm how the battery life will be until I use a functional unit, but it's 4000 mAh capacity silicon carbon. For a device like this, I think that will be sufficient, but I guess we wait and see. As for charging, no information on the speeds, but it will support Key 2 wireless charging and is MagSafe compatible. Now, while this is targeted to be a secondary device, one still has to inquire how usable the cameras will be. Of course, only real-life tests will tell, but the configuration is 50 megapixel main and 24 megapixels on the selfie. It will be able to record 4K videos. The expected retail price for the Communicator is $499, but if you're reserving one now, you save $100 and get the early bird pricing of $399. Of course, I'm reserving one. It will ship to 67 countries. I don't see Nigeria on the list, but I'm sure that's not going to prevent us from getting our hands on it. As for when it will ship, sometime this year. Nothing specific, but I hope it does before the 4th quarter. Fingers crossed for that one. As for the power keyboard, that one will ship in spring. That's sometime between March and May. It is expected to retail at $109 or $79 if you pre-order one right now. The power keyboard is their way of providing the physical keyboard experience to everyone. Previously, you could only get that experience when you buy a keyboard case, and that was for specific devices. With a power keyboard, you can now use it on any Bluetooth-enabled device, encapsulating 2 phones words, buttons for everyone. That means I can use it on my S25 Ultra or my Techno phone as long as I have a MagSafe attachment. The power keyboard comes in only one color at the moment. It attaches to the back of your phone with MagSafe, and you just slide it up to use the keyboard while charging your phone. It also gives you the flexibility of using your phone in landscape mode. That's something I actually think is very useful. If you use your phone in landscape mode, sometimes you know how annoying it gets when you actually have to type and the keyboard is taking a significant part of the display. But moving on, its battery capacity is 2150 mAh. 500 of that is reserved for the keyboard. You can adjust that from the Clicks app. As for the weight balance while using it, I'm sure it's going to depend on what device you use and how big it is. It will definitely add significant weight to your phone, seeing that it weighs about 180 grams. Add that to a device like the S25 Ultra, which is already 200 grams plus in size, and then if you add a case that has MagSafe, you do the math. Or an iPhone 17 Pro Max, you are definitely not using it one-handed. I did not get to test it with my S25 Ultra since I did not have a MagSafe case attached at the time, but with the devices available, it was fine for the most part, especially when held with both hands. It will be better suited for smaller devices, but it also works for the larger phones. Now, the power keyboard has 2 levels when you slide up to accommodate bigger phones. Again, the overall user experience will be communicated after actual use when I get one for myself. Overall, looking at what Clicks is doing with their devices, especially the Communicator, I look forward to the actual device and future generations. You can watch the full interview with Jeff here. We had an interesting conversation. So, would you use a device like the Clicks Communicator, or are we already too far gone for devices with physical buttons? Let's have a conversation in the comments.
I know it's quite early, but it might not be too early to ask, are we going to see a next gen of this device next year?
No, it's a fair question. I think from our perspective, we're not trying to get into the annual upgrade game. We want to build something that is going to last people for a while. And, our focus right now is getting on Gen 1 out the door. Okay. So we're not really thinking about Gen 2 quite yet. We just want to make the best product possible. But I don't think it's a scenario where, you should wait for Gen 2 if you're interested, because, next CES, we're going to have something else.